Oh, somebody asked our thoughts on Meghan's new Netflix show.
I
Meghan,
know.
the Duchess of Sussex.
Listen, everybody's a hater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. It's like old
I
school Martha
haven't
Stewart.
watched it, but like, whatever. Fucking let her put some peanut butter pretzels in a bag. Like, get out of here.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Aside from the voice situation.
Oh my gosh.
Look what I got.
You do still sound like you're a little hoarse still. She's vaping. She's vaping some vapors to try to be able to croak out words.
I wish this was like had weed in it.
Oh my gosh. Well, between your voice and the fact that I just want to get this warning out of here, I might have to edit this podcast, which I've never done before and don't know how to do because our editor, Josh, is probably on a plane right now. But it's just the way that everything worked out. But I'm just giving you the warning that this may not be up to the normal audio standards of this podcast between croaky voices and bad editing.
I don't understand though. Why do we need to edit it? Just let it ride. You know what I mean?
We have a theme song that we put in. We put the ads in.
It's all right. People will be fine. Guys, you're fine, right?
Sometimes we pause for like 30 seconds. Sometimes we pause for 6 minutes to like go to the bathroom or
it's true.
Deal with a delivery man or get a dog to be quiet in my house, especially. So I do cut. I don't, but I do ask Josh to cut those parts out for the happiness of the listener.
Well, guys.
But I don't know. We're flying by the seat of our pants here
That's
today.
What I'm saying. And I'm also just like, you get what you get and you don't get upset. You know what I mean? Like, we're just doing the best we can here. This is literally the name of the podcast.
You sound a tiny bit better, but how are you feeling is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I do. I went to acupuncture for like 3 hours this morning. And
oh my God, how many needles
insane.
did they put in you?
He put in so many needles that he was like, it's a good thing I don't charge you by the needle. And I was like, yeah, I guess so.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I just have been like battling this thing for a minute.
Yeah.
And I thought it was like a sinus infection.
Yeah.
But I went to my doctor and he's like, no, you just have a virus. That's gross.
Gross.
And I was like, that's not fun. And he's like, it's not. And then he did the thing where he like made me cry by telling me like a deep truth about myself, which was, he was like, Busy, there's nothing to do. You just have to like be good to yourself and take care of yourself and rest. And then I start crying.
Yeah, that's your least favorite words.
Yeah, be good to myself, take care of myself, rest, please. Get out of here. I was like, I don't have time for this shit. I was supposed to go to LA tomorrow, but I'm postponing for a couple of days just because I have to work there on Tuesday, but I'm just, I think it's important that I like just kind of get rested and better instead of like rushing to the airport. You know what I mean? Like I don't need to go stay in a hotel. Like I can just stay here and just rest for a minute.
We're two different stages on the same scale of type of person, I think. And I am the type of person that never goes to the doctor. Like I'll put it off forever and avoid going to the doctor probably till my dying breath, if we're being honest, which isn't great. You're the person that always goes to the doctor, and I wildly respect that. And you're like, you have no fear of hearing whatever news it is, but it also sets up the end of that equation, which is if you go to the doctor and then you don't do what he says, then had it done any good to go to the doctor.
Right.
So you're doing it.
Exactly.
You're doing your instructions.
Which Ben and I had talked about because Ben has to get sinus surgery. And I'm sure you remember this, Casey, because we were working together. We had just started working together when I had sinus surgery.
Yeah.
We were like developing Busy Tonight.
Yeah.
And they were adamant about me not flying after the sinus surgery. And then I had to go fly to New York to do Kimmy Schmidt. And it was just like, I just did it. And then it really fucked my sinuses up
Yeah.
for like months and months and months post-surgery. It was real nasty.
It's rough. It's rough. Okay, so what is this device that you're using? What's the technical term of it? The brand name.
Well, this is one that's like weirdly like this is just like a face steamer.
Oh, okay.
But it's everybody like on Broadway and stuff, like, and Sarah has, like, everybody has these like little personal humidifier things for when they get sick.
Yeah.
So I'm just using, but like the drugstore I went to, they're just like, but the drugstore I went to didn't have the like one that's supposed to just be for your throat.
The
or
nebulizer?
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
No, it's not really. It's like, I mean, they're just like, you can get them anywhere. They're like, I don't know, just like little personal humidifiers.
Okay.
Singers use them.
Okay.
But they had like this little one that personal humidify you. See, does this get cut out? I don't know.
We usually cut out the majority of the Googling.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not this time. Maybe not this time. Yeah, like there's like all kinds of little ones. But people use these like little ones that go on your face when they're singers on Broadway.
Okay. I always remember from like cartoons, like old fashioned cartoons, when someone was like an opera singer in a cartoon, they would use like a little atomizer with a squeeze ball to like spray into their throat. Which also was like a perfume bottle sometimes. And I remember always wanting to have an atomizer with a squeeze ball, but I never got one.
I have lots of humidifiers going now. And can I tell you something that is stupid that I realized?
What?
I realized that this winter season, I didn't break out my humidifiers. So I think that that's part of what has been going on.
Yeah.
Is that I haven't been using my humidifiers, and it's
that dry. You know how
really
you always
dry.
say an orchid is a job. It's not a gift. It's a job. I feel like a humidifier is a job.
Yeah. Personal steam inhalers. That's what these are.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, they're there's all different brands and things.
It's all steam and atomized water droplets. Like it's not, it is some science, but it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science, no.
So your little face steamer is doing the trick, it feels like?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my face steamer, and then I broke out the other humidifiers, and here we are. And I really do feel like that is a thing I need to remember. I need to use this inhaler, or not inhaler, humidifiers.
I used to have like a humidifier in my house on the East Coast. I don't know what happened to a lot of things that I owned, if I'm being honest. But it was like a shallow bowl of water that had like a ceramic ball that set down in it, and that was a humidifier supposedly as well. But it was like had no electronics or whatever. I wonder whatever happened to that. But it seemed like some kind of like primitive times humidifier. Who knows?
I think there's also like, you can just get another one.
Maybe.
I'm going to tell you something.
Maybe.
I think you can.
Okay, so
How are you
tell
doing?
me if you want to do this, but when I put a post up on our Instagram saying that the podcast was going to be late because we were having a sick day,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, since we haven't recorded yet, if there are things you want us to talk about,
Totally.
let us know. So if you want to answer some of those questions.
Sure, why not?
All right. White Lotus updates, please, from Ross. Busy never watches TV, so I need her to just go ahead and watch them without Birdie. Because they want us to talk about White Lotus. Are you caught up?
I'm caught up.
You're caught up?
Mm-hmm.
Are you forming any theories about, don't spoil anything for anyone, obviously, but are you formulating any theories about anything, anyone?
No, but I have to say something that might be controversial.
Okay.
I don't know if I should say it. I don't know if I should say it.
You're scared? It's that
I'm a little
controversial?
I don't know if it's that controversial, but like, I just feel like there are some, like, I just feel like this season they added 2 extra episodes.
Okay. So the build is...
And I'm just feeling a little bit like if the dad's phone rings, like, I don't I need more information already about, like, that's not like, that story's already, like, it's like, I'm done with him, like, the phone ringing and the girl being like, Dad, don't answer your phone. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
get it. Yes.
it's
I think that's fair.
3 episodes of that. I'm like, it's enough. What happened? What did he do? I need more information. Like,
Yes.
it's just,
think that's fair.
And I think that is, as a person who works in this industry, I think it is literally just a case of like having 2 additional episodes wherein you're like, well, we got to drag this out for an extra episode, basically. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I just like feel it. I feel it. And it was like, in this last episode was making me feel like, okay, it's enough. Like, it's enough. I don't know what the hell is going on with that family, especially. That is like very confusing to me.
Creepy vibes. I feel
don't like it.
The Patrick Schwarzenegger character is giving me full creepy vibes.
Man, Patrick Schwarzenegger was giving me full.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I think that's a fair criticism. That's
like my only thing. My Leslie Bibb, who's obviously a good friend of mine, is eating it the fuck up. That look, that whole conversation. And I obviously love the triangulation of the women, and like whenever there's one,
the friendship. Yeah.
I love it.
It was okay. This is kind of a spoiler, but I impressed my husband so much that when they were, so if you haven't watched it yet, just skip ahead 10 seconds over this part. When they were having the whole political conversation and they were like, are you a Republican? And I said exactly at the same time as Leslie Bibb, I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent.
Totally.
And my husband was like, oh my God, how did you know she was going to say that? And I was
because obviously.
Honey. Anyway, okay, you can start listening again. But I hope that you're caught up. I get it. And like, here's the thing for me is like, I just love Jennifer Coolidge so much that I want her to be in everything. And so I'm like, I really wish her ghost was like haunting Natasha Rothwell's character or something. I really wish she was, I wish Natasha Rothwell would be like having hallucinations of Jennifer Coolidge or something, because I loved their relationship and their dynamic together so much. But that's where we are on White Lotus. We're caught up. We're watched caught up. Them.
I watched them. I love those. I love those three women. I just think it's all,
Yeah.
I'm just obsessed.
Yeah.
I'm
Jake,
obsessed with that. But also I don't really have like, I'm not I mean, I don't know. Like there's definitely like, right now I'm just like in it to win it.
yeah.
I don't want to like try to figure it out. I don't love that. Like I'd rather just watch it and let it unfold. Why do I need to figure out or have a theory about what's about to happen?
I
Do you know what I
always want to
mean?
read the theories after the fact to like fill myself in on anything that I might have missed. But yeah, I like the surprise of it too. Like, I mean, so many people are talking about like their superpower pattern recognition theories. And I think I have pretty good pattern recognition too. But if you don't know what something's alluding to, if you don't know what the reference that they've layered in, what it is or whatever, then you just don't know it. So you wouldn't spot that pattern. But I like to try to just enjoy it. And then if there's anything that I missed or I'm left confused, I like to like read all those theories after. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. That's kind of like where I'm at. Like I'm
Yeah.
a little bit just like, also I've been sick. So I'm sort of just like
Yeah.
enjoying it.
You're having like fever dreams probably while you're watching this stuff.
Yeah, a little bit.
Jake just said, I'd love to hear travel stories from your fave trips. I've not traveled as nearly as much as you have. So
I don't understand why these two questions have been from men. I actually am like, that's my question.
Let
in
me
return.
just ask, what's your favorite trip been that you've ever taken? You can just name the destination and we don't have to go into detail.
I don't know. Well, I literally don't know. I don't know.
It's a good. We'll come back
I have
to
no
it.
fucking
We'll come
idea.
back to it if we think of anything.
Well, I'm planning a trip. Hold on. Does that get cut out?
That usually gets cut out. Yes.
I'm planning a trip right now.
Yeah.
For spring break with Cricket.
Yeah.
Because I realized that second child. You know, I did a lot of things with just Birdie when she was
When it was
Cricket
just her.
was like a baby. No, like Cricket was a baby.
Right.
And so it was like and because they're 5 years apart, that's a big
Right.
spread, you know?
Yeah.
So I traveled with Birdie more and like Cricket would just like get to go to Arizona with me. You know what I mean? Which she loves, let's be real.
Yeah, of course. She loves it.
But so I'm planning this spring break trip. And because I just felt like this at the beginning of the new year, I was like, I want to make it a priority to give Crix a little bit of like ask her what she would like to do or see or go where she'd like to go, and then like make it happen.
Yeah.
And so I'm planning this trip for her spring break, and I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about it if you want to hear.
Sure.
I'm taking her to London.
Exciting.
And then we're going to Paris for a couple of
Exciting.
days. We were just going to do London. And then I was like, fuck it. Let's just take the train to Paris and go to Paris.
Yeah.
And see some stuff. And so I'm like planning things. And that's funny for me because I'm not like that kind of person necessarily. Like my idea of a vacation, I enjoy lying on a beach.
Yeah.
And not doing anything.
Yeah. I understand
That's my vibe.
Yeah.
This is like a very active sightseeing-ish vacation. I took Birdie to London in 2020, right before the shutdown, the lockdown.
I remember, yeah.
In February of 2020. And that was a harder trip. That was hard. Cricket's a different kind of person. So we'll see like, and it was really fast too. The trip with Birdie was like really quick.
It was like 3 days or something?
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And so we're doing a Harry Potter tour
Wow. Okay.
where you guys, JK, don't worry, JK Rowling doesn't get any money from this. I mean, she does. There's no fucking, it's like some private tour company. You know what I mean? They just
Yeah.
take you to all the locations and then you get to go to the studio. And you do a studio tour.
Oh, cool.
I know. So Cricket's really excited about that because, you know, the love of her life, Snape.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman. Where's Alan Rickman buried? Should I take her to see where he is to pay
Maybe.
pay an homage to her?
When I moved to Los
BFF?
Angeles, the first thing I did was go straight to Jimmy Stewart's grave.
All right.
It took us forever to find it. And then my husband very sincerely asked.
Hollywood Forever?
I think it's Hollywood Forever. Yeah. It's not the. Yeah, I think Hollywood Forever. Although
There's only two that people are buried in.
But anyway, my husband
Wait, what's
was
the
like,
other
"Do you
one
wanna-"
called in the valley? What is that called? Green
Lawn? What? I'm totally blanking on it.
Green
I can't believe I don't have every.
Lawn. Green Lawn.
Green
It is
lawn.
lawn.
Anyway, my husband very sweetly asked me if I wanted to say any words over Jimmy Stewart's grave when we finally found it, and it was very on a hill and everything. It wasn't like a grandiose grave at all. And anyway, I said, "Here lies the hottest Republican that's ever lived," and then my family was mad at me.
Well, Republican in a different era. Anyway,
Hollywood
Yeah.
Forever, Forest Lawn.
Forest
Oh,
Lawn.
thank God.
Jesus Christ.
I Googled
I was like,
it.
Green Lawn? That's not
Green
right.
Lawn. We were on the right track.
Circling. We were circling.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know about that. But we're doing a Harry Potter tour. We're gonna see a couple of shows.
Exciting.
I am gonna go see Mean Girls, the musical in London.
Oh, yay.
See all those people
That's exciting.
that are in the show. I know. I'm
Aw.
excited to see them. We're going to do like high tea, and we're going to go look at the Crown Jewels and the Tower of London. And I don't know, like that's kind of it for now. And then in Paris, I don't have a ton of land in Paris.
Well, you know.
Because it's just like there's a lot to see and do
Yeah.
in Paris. But then you know what we are going to do?
What?
We are going to Paris Disney.
Oh, that's fun.
I think it is. I'm excited about it. I am excited to go to Paris Disney.
This could be your best trip. It could
We don't
be
know
yet
yet.
to come. We don't know. We have to put a pin in it and revisit it when you're back.
An experience that definitely I think is relatable is walking into a wine store and having no idea what wine you're going to get.
Yeah.
And you're just like staring blankly at a giant wall of wine.
Right.
And then you just don't know. And you're like on your way to a dinner party, or you're going to someone's house, or you're having people over, and you're just like, I know this is
Hope this is
what-
good.
I don't shrug emoji. But that's why we love our sponsor, Naked Wines, because Naked Wines is a service that directly connects you to the world's finest independent winemakers, so you can get award-winning wine delivered straight to your door. Use the code BEST and the password BEST at nakedwines.com, and you can get the best deal of all time. I mean, honestly, it's an incredible deal.
Yeah.
It's 6 bottles for just $39.99.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
How do they do it?
How do they do it?
They connect with winemakers and wine drinkers directly, allowing for the vineyard to your door delivery up to 60% off, what you would pay in store. It's because they cut out the traditional retail middlemen costs and markups. Winemakers can pass those savings on to you without skimping on quality. And this stuff is high quality. Like, my husband's a little bit of a wine snob, and he is stoked about the offerings from Naked Wines.
I had a friend over who is also a wine snob and was very impressed by 2 of the bottles that I had. And I was like, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I get it. Those are mine. I picked those out, but I didn't pick them out. Naked Wines picked them out. Naked Wines has been around for over 15 years. It funds over 90 independent winemakers around the world. But the best part is you have no commitment, no membership fees. So you can enjoy Naked Wines hassle-free. You can pause or cancel at any time. So just because you are going on a trip, like I am, it doesn't mean you can't enjoy Naked Wines before or after your much needed vacay. Or maybe you're on a trip that's stressful and then you really want to enjoy your Naked Wines when you go back. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of incredible. You can also do like half white, half red. You split a box. It's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Now is the time to join the Naked Wines community. Head to nakedwines.com/best, click enter voucher, and put in our code BEST for both the code and the password. And you get 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99 with shipping included. That's $100 off, you guys.
Whoa.
Your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/best and use the code and password BEST for 6 bottles of wine for $39.99. Like, you really need to just do this. I'm just telling you. You just need to do it.
It's 2025. Stop shopping for wine like it's 2005.
Totally. Okay, Rocket Money, guys, you got to get into Rocket Money, okay? Let me tell you what I did while I've been sick. I really used my Rocket Money, and I canceled all of these subscriptions that I was paying for, and was just like, it was just time. It was time for me to do it. It was. And I cannot even, I was paying for some app that isn't even on my phone anymore, Casey. That's $200 a year. Why did I get it? I don't even know. I couldn't even figure out what the app was. It was crazy. Ugh. And Rocket Money was like, question mark? I was like, thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you. They show you all of your subscriptions right in one place. They help you easily cancel anything that you forgot you've been paying for. Rocket Money also pulls together all your spending across all your different accounts so you can clearly keep track of spending habits and see where you should cut back. And this is something that also I've been very aware of recently. You know, it's just like the subscriptions are a thing. We all do it. We sign up for something. We forget about it after the trial period. You forget to cancel it. Then you're charged month after month for years sometimes, like me. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. And thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place, cancel the ones you're not using anymore, and save more money.
In this economy, honey,
we've got to. This is also a thing. I sign up for streaming services, and then a few months later, I'm still paying for the service, even though it's been bundled with something else. Like, I've double paid for services.
Right.
For streaming services. And so Rocket Money can be a game changer for that, because they will show you what you're overpaying for, what you're paying double for. It's a personal finance app that helps find and cancel unwanted subscription. It monitors your spending. It helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. It is truly such an incredible service. You can create a personalized budget with custom categories to help you keep your spending on track. This is perfect for people with ADHD. It's perfect for people who aren't great with money. Trust me. Trust me. You can get alerts if bills increase, if there's unusual spending, or if you're close to going over budget. I think this is a really great service. Rocket Money even will try to negotiate lower bills for you. They automatically scan bills to find opportunities to save, and you can ask them to negotiate for you. They deal with customer service so you don't have to, and everybody hates dealing with customer service. Thank you, Rocket Money, for doing that. Rocket Money has over 5 million users, has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/busy today. That's rocketmoney.com/busy. rocketmoney.com/busy.
Deb is asking, can you discuss the resilience of women in film and television, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes, and anything positive going forward in these trying times? I mean, women have to be resilient in front of and behind the camera, in my experience. And I anticipate that we will continue to do so because we have to going forward. That's kind of all I have on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. I appreciate it, but appreciate the idea of the question.
Yes, but it's a weird time. Melissa suggested a clip show, and that's the one comment that I responded to, because she was like, I think she was trying to say, like, maybe if you can't do a show because you're sick, you could do a clip show. And then I said, clip shows are so much fun and so much work. They're, believe it or not, even though the material already exists, it's so much work to pull together a clip show. Which is why in television, I try to avoid working on clip shows. And I always hate when you work on like a pop culture type of commentary show. I always hate when whoever's in charge of the show on December 28th says, oh, you know what we should do? A recap of this year. And then I'm just like,
no,
I'm going to go microwave my own face. Because that's the kind of, when you should think of that on January 1st of that year, and then you should put someone in charge of it and have them work on it all year, not expecting them to work on anything else throughout the year.
Well, maybe the idea, I don't think you're wrong. Like, I think maybe what you do is if you just start you pull things as you go.
Yes. One thing we did on Busy Tonight, and like, unfortunately, that show should have gone on 6 years, I feel like, and this is where it would have been helpful. But at the end of Busy Tonight, I would always gather with the producers, the segment producers, and take the rundown for the show and go through every segment and say, do you give that A, B, C, D, or F? Like, how would you grade it? And then we'd average the grades for every segment of the show. And then I would hole punch it, put it in a binder, because then when you're trying to do any type of best of clip show, you just go right to the grade A. There's no like discussion, like, I can't remember, was such and such a guest amazing? Or none of that discussion. You just go right immediately to the fresh reaction, which was, Lizzo was a complete home run. And so anything you pull from that show would be great. But we never even got to do a retrospective.
No, we didn't.
Boo. 2 thumbs down. But that's a little Hollywood break about how I try to do those things. But clip shows are really hard. They're a lot of work. They're mostly work for the editor, which you couldn't have known this, Melissa, but we might not have an editor this week. So that's why that situation was an impossibility in this case. We miss you, Josh. Okay.
Josh is going on spring break.
Yeah, Josh is going on spring break, and he's like very excited. I don't want to say where he's going in case I don't want his fans looking him up where he is.
Let me say something though. I want to circle back to that.
Yeah.
Ask. That first Disney cruise that we went on
Yes.
was like one of the best vacations I've ever had. It was
Oh,
so fun.
okay. Okay.
And honestly, part of why it was so fun was that I really like got into it.
Yeah. Yes.
And like a cruise is not for me.
Yeah.
And still, you guys, I get seasick. I'm not like a natural born cruiser.
You're not a mermaid.
Wait, natural born cruiser is kind of funny.
That's a movie.
It is. I'm not a natural born cruiser. And I wasn't looking forward to many aspects of that trip. And then I just realized that my attitude was everything.
Yeah.
And this is my greatest advice for people traveling with children. The advice is as follows. Go into it assuming it's going to be fucking terrible. And then anything else is a treat. If you go into traveling with your small children thinking like this day is going to be hell, I'm going to be miserable, exhausted, and like probably something really sticky is going to be spilled on me and I won't be able to get it out and it'll be uncomfortable and it's going to be gross. Then anything other than that really feels like a win. And you really are able to like get through it and maintain your composure because you're not expecting things to go well, you know? And I think like when I first started traveling with Birdie when she was a baby and
Right.
I was like
Yeah.
always disappointed in my travel days and myself because I was like always thinking it should be easier or better or I should do whatever. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's not, it's going to be a shit show. And so then when I would have like trips where she would be just so delightful and sleep the whole time
Yeah.
or not cry or whatever, then it was just a pleasant surprise. Anyway.
Well, it's one of those things where like I've seen it happen when I've been on vacation with my family and you can tell that, you know, I'm not saying that we have never had our miserable times. We certainly have, but I usually laugh. Like I'm thinking particularly of a Disney trip where Lincoln was little and not at the most flexible point in his life as a person.
Mhm.
And he did not get the concept of Disney World nor why we were there. And I chose to just kind of quietly think it was hilarious when, you know, we're trying to go on the like river rapids ride and someone comes up with a tape measure to measure him to make sure he's tall enough. And he screamed, "If one more person measures me in this park." And I just was like dying of laughter. But not to him because obviously he was uncomfortable. But you know, it's just one of those things where you're like, okay, like what, like if we're all miserable, why are we like on this vacation? Like why are we doing this travel? So that's like the thing that I try to remember is that, yeah, I think that you have good advice. And I wish that you had been able to share that advice with all parents in New England in the 1970s and 1980s, because I don't think they got that except the messiness of anything. And I'm generalizing, I know, but just based on my own experience, there were a lot of cranky parents in New England during those decades for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well,
Meg wants to know who is someone else we think was doing their best this week? The barista, the mailman, whoever was putting good in the world.
I don't know. I'm trying to think what happened this week. Jasmine Crockett has been doing her best.
Yeah, she really has been stepping up.
Really just a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I did my best this week. I had to shoot a commercial on Monday.
Yeah.
And I just shoot a commercial, and then I had to go
Do a charity
host
event.
a charity event that thankfully you wrote jokes for me because but I want to tell you, Matt Stone was there.
Yeah.
And he was like impressed and loved the jokes. So.
That's so nice. Well, thank you, Matt Stone.
He and his wife were so incredibly nice and insanely generous at the thing, which South Park, I guess,
Yeah.
I was like trying to think about it as I went to bed that night, and I was like, shit, that guy's got a lot of money.
Not to mention all the other like amazing things. South Park is just what they're best known for. But,
oh my God. I mean, Book of Mormon, like.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, he's got like, it's a full empire of things, of entertainment, of comedy and entertainment. But he and his wife were so incredibly lovely. And I really liked them a lot. And I hope I didn't give them whatever this virus is.
Oh God.
But we didn't talk like that closely. You know what I mean? We were just sitting at the same table.
All right. Well, I'm going to say I think Matt Stone indirectly complimenting some jokes that I helped you with did his best this week.
They definitely,
I'm pretty proud of him.
I was just going to say, they like, those auctions at these big, this is the event that raises money for epilepsy research and seizure research and for NYU Langone. It's the FACES organization.
Yeah. Nice.
Finding a cure for epilepsy and other seizure disorders. And like, I don't need to tell you, private sector's really got to fund research now because
everything.
Elon doesn't
we
give
don't
a
have
fuck.
it.
Yeah. All right.
Everything's being privatized, supposedly, is the direction it's headed in. So,
but they really went for it in those auctions, in that live auction.
Yeah.
And I appreciated it. And it was like making me giggle because I love watching people spend a lot of money.
Yes.
And like, that would be my dream, to having like an inordinate amount of money would be just so that I could do that.
Yeah.
So that I could like go to like those charity events and be like $500,000. You know what I mean? Or whatever. like some crazy, like, remember when I went to the City Harvest thing last year and it was that private dinner with Chef Eric Repair?
Oh, yeah.
Did I talk about this on the podcast?
I don't think you did. I don't know. Maybe.
And then
talk about it again.
And then it was like a private dinner with Chef Eric Repair, who like never does that.
Yeah.
In your home. And then John Legend was there because he and Chrissy Teigen were being honored. Hold on.
Amazing.
I got a huff. And,
she's huffing.
And John Legend was like, I'll come play piano and sing for you.
Oh my God.
At your private dinner. And the price kept going up and up and up. And I was sitting there and I was like, wait, this is how much a house costs. Oh my God, wait. No, this is really how much. No, wait, this is like a nice house.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck? Who are these people? And it is crazy because everybody always thinks that like people in Hollywood have money and we just do not have money.
Not like that.
But like, not even like, yes, yeah, 100%. Like, but yes, people in Hollywood are definitely compensated well, and depending on like who you are and what you do, right? Like, but that that finance money or whatever that is like not real. It feels not real. It felt like I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And it went for like, do you want me to even say? Now, keep in mind, like City Harvest is like just a really, again, got the private sector's got to take over because and the stuff that City Harvest is able to do is so incredible because not only are they fighting like, food insecurity in all of New York and parts of New Jersey, but also they negotiate with farmers when they have over like crops that don't sell or whatever.
Right,
And
right.
they negotiate with the farmers and buy the crops so that the farmers don't lose money, but then they get the food and then they like distribute the food to different like food pantries and different kitchens and things that are providing meals.
Yeah.
And like they have just this system that is so incredible to eliminate food waste and also meet the challenges of food instability in like no one in our country should be hungry. Like that's just the bottom line. But the problem is the infrastructure in order to like recirculate food isn't there, but that's what City Harvest does on such a huge scale in New York. And then there are other organizations around the country that do very similar things, but I'm just talking about City Harvest. Anyway, it's a huge organization, a huge operation. Huge.
Yeah, I've done work with them in the past and the huge organization, and they've been at it for a minute.
Oh, a really long time.
Yeah.
And all the things like providing lunches and breakfasts for kids and like all of those things. Like they're just and sending kids home with groceries over long weekends and breaks and things like that. Like they're incredible. Anyway, you guys, I think these people bought that dinner for $850,000.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
And I was like, holy fucking shit.
You know what else is wild too? Like, okay, can you imagine just going to a charity event and then deciding spontaneously to bid $850,000? No, we can't even imagine it. But I've worked with a lot of maybe not quite that high ticket as some of the ones that you've been to, but I've worked with a lot of high dollar charity events. And I've been told, I don't know how true it is, but I've been told that also a lot of these people pay for their thing and never claim it. Like they never take the ski weekend.
This is what Matt Stone and I were talking about because he was like, the last time they weren't there, I hosted last year, the Faces Gala, and they weren't able to be there last year. And he was like, a couple years ago, we got this dinner at this like private sushi dinner thing. He's like, never collected, never did it. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know. We forgot about it, I guess.
Yeah, just never. It's like having a gift card in your wallet, and sometimes you're like, "Oh, holy shit! I have $20 at Bath and Body Works." Except for it's an $850,000 dinner and entertainment. But
can you imagine? Well, I did that. That happened to me once, but that was because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
Baby to Baby like had a live auction thing that was like a house in Mexico. I don't know, whatever. This was in 2019, okay?
Yeah.
So I like knew how much money I was going to donate when I went to the event.
Yeah.
That's also like how it works too. I think so
you have a talk
like if you like
go.
Know how much money you want to donate to the charity, you can like try to get one of the things, you know, if you want, or you cannot. Anyway, or you can just donate the money. But anyway, I didn't even do that live. Someone else got it, and then they like decided to not, or the person who won it or something said that they didn't want to do it or something. I don't know.
Buyer's remorse.
They did, and then like an email went out to like all the Baby to Baby like board members and stuff, and was like, does anyone want to get this instead? And so I did it, and then was going to do it like in the spring, and then the pandemic happened.
Then the pandemic
and then
happened.
I just never did it, obviously.
The pandemic.
So, all right. Well, anyway, that's the story.
All right. Our friend Paper Bike wants to know how the drawer microwave search went. That was me. That was on me. I was asking online opinions about drawer microwaves, and they were mixed. I never got the drawer microwave. I still have a microwave on my countertop. I would like to not have a microwave on my countertop because I don't have a lot of countertops. So, but I'm just in a real holding pattern on the drawer microwave. They're very expensive. They're like $1,500 and I'm not in that place right now.
Have you seen those walk-in fridges?
I mean, in a restaurant I've seen one, but people have them in their house.
Like these new, I just saw them on like TikTok or something.
Oh God.
They look so cool. It's like a pantry basically.
Yeah.
But it's a refrigerator.
That is wild. Do they have clear doors or you can't see through the doors?
It's like you're walking into like a big walk-in pantry.
Yeah.
And it has like drawers that open and it looks, it's all like wood and marble and stuff. But I guess it's really cold.
Oh, okay. I went to a hotel that had something similar like that one time where like guests could go into the walk-in refrigerator to get cold snacks.
I think that that's similar.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That must be amazing. But my question is the door to get inside, is it glass or is it solid? Like, can you see people inside the walk-in refrigerator?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we just have a humble little refrigerator purchased from a humble big box store before all of this has been going on. And we had to have a repair guy come out because the beverage center where you can put your cup in and get water, or there's also like a pitcher. My family prefers the pitcher that automatically fills up with water. But for like a couple days, the pitcher wasn't filling up at all. And so we were like, what the fuck is happening? And so we went through all these like troubleshootings to try to fix it. And Matt eventually did fix it. But then another time, Matt just opened up the fridge and like 5 gallons of water shot out of the beverage center onto the kitchen floor. And so the fridge was still under warranty. We had to have a guy come out to look at it. And do you know what he told us was the problem?
No, what?
The water filters that we bought from another major retailer were counterfeit. And
what?
They were labeled as the brand of the fridge, but they weren't actually the brand of the fridge. And there's one way to tell because something's supposed to come with the filter and it didn't come with any of the filters that we ordered from. And so we were like, oh, and he was like, I would only trust ordering directly from the manufacturer of the refrigerator and not your local big box retailer, which I was like, okay, no problem, because I don't want to do that right now anyway. But so it was we had some, like, not even like that fake Birkin bag that everybody was talking about, like, you know.
From Walmart?
Like counterfeit fucking water filters.
I don't understand.
That's horrible.
That's really weird.
It's so weird. And I'm like, who is sitting around dreaming up what you can counterfeit? And like, I guess in a way, that's probably the most genius if you're going to be a counterfeiter, like make water filters and hope that they work. And anyone would probably hardly ever notice. Who's checking the authenticity of water filters, for fuck's sake? Anyway.
Like how? I don't understand.
The fridge is working now and we're awaiting our direct from the manufacturer water filters, but jeepers creepers. Anyway, that's how the drawer microwave search is going. It's on hold. I don't want to spend $1,500 on a microwave.
That's too much.
With mixed reviews.
Yeah,
so we have like $100 microwave on our counter and we just look like, you know, disorganized trash people. To be honest.
I don't think that's true.
It's like, because, you know, everybody puts stuff on top of the microwave and everybody hides. Now I'm really reading my family. Everybody hides stuff to the right of the microwave that they don't want like to go in the dishwasher. They don't want a busybody to put their glass in the dishwasher because they want to use it again. So everybody's and there's like, I guarantee if I went out there right now, there'd be like 5 hidden glasses to the right of the microwave that at least 4 of them should be in the dishwasher.
I know. Well, that's like I get that.
It's such an ADHD thing.
It's-
I mean, like when
I feel that feels real to me.
when I go to bed at night and I'm like, oh my God, I have like a coffee cup from this afternoon, a can of some sparkling beverage, a big glass from my Element, and then like another cup from tea. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't really say anything about those hidden glasses because at least those people are trying to hide them and then they hide them from themselves and forget about them. I'm just sitting out in plain view with 4 different vessels for drinking out of. So, you know.
I do know, actually.
What other questions do we have? So many just good wishes for you to feel better. I hope you felt them. I hope they helped. Somebody says selfishly they want to know the name of the good coffee place in the West Village that
No.
you talked about.
Sorry. No,
She's
I'm sorry.
gatekeeping it.
Yeah.
She's
figure it out
gatekeeping
yourself. No, I'm not going to do it. Sorry. No.
Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. Okay.
I mean, I don't think that's crazy that I don't feel like
You don't
telling
want to
people where I go
share.
get my good coffee.
You don't want the lines to get longer.
The lines are long already.
Yeah.
Euphoria.
Aw, your voice sounds good.
I know it does. I just gave a little. It's because Foria lubricates my vagina, which in turn, just makes those vocal cords real sing. I guess They sing.
Everything's
They sing.
singing because of
Everything's
Foria.
singing. Guys, we love Foria. Foria's been a day one. They're an original
Ride or die.
ride or die, and we also will ride with Foria. Foria is amazing. What is Foria, guys? Do you know? Have you listened? You've listened. You know what it is.
You know.
Foria creates incredible products like the Awaken Arousal Oil, Sex Oil, Intimacy Melts, and Sex Oil that will change the way you experience pleasure and sex. Sensuality starts with Foria. People may think, I don't need any extra help in the bedroom. That's fine. Maybe you don't need any extra help in the bedroom. And then your mind's going to be blown. You're going to be pleasantly surprised by how much better and more pleasurable and more intense your sexual experiences and your relationships and your orgasms can be. It's a great gift.
Yeah, you're always giving it for a gift.
I really do. I give it to a lot of friends. Birthdays, anniversaries, weddings. Guys, just, a Tuesday.
Mother's Day.
Get into it. The Awaken Arousal Oil, the best orgasm or sex you ever had. Now just picture it better and bigger with products that were designed to naturally enhance sexual pleasure and give you those bigger, better orgasms. It's an oil, Awaken Arousal Oil that has CBD and warming, sensation-inducing organic botanicals that enhance arousal and sensitivity and access to orgasm and overall pleasure. Guys, it's going to turn you on.
Yeah, I mean, and they have numbers to back it up. 92% of users felt more aroused. 92% reached orgasm.
Come on.
That's an A. That's
Can't
2
argue
A's.
with that. That's 2 A's. And 2 A's make a yes. That is real. That is real. Yeah, in addition to the Awaken Arousal Oil, they've got the Pleasure Set, which has all 3 of Foria's best-selling intimacy products, the Awaken Arousal Oil, that Sex Oil, and the Intimacy Melts. The Intimacy Melts will help you experience deep internal waves of pleasure, guys. And the Sex Oil lubricates during sex and creates a very juicy experience for everybody involved. It's just a magic combination, and it's going to take your connection with your partner to the next level. Don't take our word for it. There are hundreds and thousands of people who've had their sex lives transformed through using their products, and there's testimonials online. And honestly, try using these, multiple Foria products together. I cannot recommend it enough. So yes, you have our permission to try it. We fully endorse you to go ahead, treat yourself and your partner, experience your juiciest, deepest, sensual experience with a bottle of Foria. Foria is offering a special deal for our listeners. Get 20% off your first order by visiting foriawellness.com/best or use code BEST at the checkout. That's FORIA wellness.com/best for 20% off your first order. I recommend trying the Awaken Arousal Oil or their Pleasure Set with all 3 of their best sellers. That's what I really recommend. You're going to thank me later. In case you missed it, the EPA just banned 2 cancer-causing chemicals, and there's a good chance they are in a ton of your cleaning products. Don't take chances with your family and your pets and your health. Switch out your old cleaning products for Blue Land. They're EPA Safer Choice certified, so you can trust that they only use safe, clean, and effective ingredients, guys. Listen, we've been talking about Blue Land for a long time. We love Blue Land. Blue Land's on a mission to eliminate single-use plastic by reinventing cleaning essentials to be better for you and the planet with the same powerful clean that you're used to. The idea is so simple. They offer refillable cleaning products with like a very beautiful cohesive design, looks great on your counter, looks great under your sink, looks great wherever you keep it. They've got cleaning sprays, hand soaps, toilet bowl cleaner, which we love. We love that toilet bowl cleaner. Laundry tablets, which I love. I use the dishwashing tablets. I love those.
Yeah.
I like the dishwasher detergent tablets because they're 100% plastic free and they're made with certified clean ingredients that are safe for the whole family. And I feel like of all the places where you're going to use clean ingredients, you definitely want the things that you're washing your plates and your cups and your silverware with to be clean. You know what I mean?
Right.
So err on the side of keeping yourself and your family safe and healthy and use clean ingredients. It just makes no sense to me why you wouldn't want to do that.
Right. And Blue Land products are effective and affordable. The refill tablets start at just $2.25, which is so much lower than cleaning products when you're running out to the store because you're putting the tablets in, filling the bottles up with water, not shipping around water. When we're talking about being better to the environment and really paying attention to where we're giving our money these days, this is the smartest thing. I want to give my money to a company whose products do the work and do good.
It's like really, really such a no-brainer. You can also get more savings if you buy refills in bulk or you set up a subscription. And just so you know, the Blue Land products are independently tested to perform alongside major brands. And Blue Land products are free from dyes, bleach, and harsh chemicals. Blue Land is trusted in over 1 million homes, including mine. I really cannot recommend Blue Land enough. Blue Land has a special offer for you, our listener. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/best. You don't want to miss this. blueland.com/best for 15% off. That's blueland.com/best to get 15% off.
Somebody wants to hear Oscar goss and what we thought about the whole show and red carpet. I thought Conan was great. I knew a lot of people on his writing team. I was happy. I think here's what I was thinking and listen, I'm not, down with the patriarchy, everything. And I think Conan has been given a lot of opportunities that a lot of people would love to have. But also, when people had the reaction to Conan doing the Oscars the way that they did, it kind of made me think about a lot of the shows that I've worked on. And I'm like, everybody loves Conan. Like, why hasn't it worked out for him so many times? And I guess the answer is I don't know. People love Conan, but something about like him being on TV every day, like people aren't going to look around and find it. And that's like kind of the shame of where we are in entertainment right now, is that like if it's at all hard to find or people need to like kind of search for it, that maybe they're not gonna. But Conan's great. I thought he was pretty funny. I think he did a pretty straightforwardly funny Oscars. And in a way, it was weird because so much is going on in the world that it seemed like to me like the Oscars was a little light on societal commentary. But that being said, like, do people want societal commentary from, I don't know, from these people that aren't living the lives that most of us are living, you know? So, like, what can anyone tell me that I don't already know? The only thing I really wish about the Oscars is I just wish people would stop listing a list of names of people on their team. I know it's nice and it's a nice time to thank them, but just don't need to be like, thanks to Tim and Jim and Josh and Betty and Rebecca. And I mean, I get it. Like, I get why they do it, but that's just my own personal button pushing. I'm like, this does not move the needle toward me knowing who these people are, or, you know.
Well, but for those people, you know,
it's amazing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. It's my own personal complaint. And if I was one of those people, I would fucking love it. But I would rather, I don't know. I don't know what I would rather. It would be wrong not to thank them. Like, well, when Robert Downey Jr. thanked our friend Erica, who's his stylist, I thought that was amazing. But he also specified, he said her first name and last name and what she did for a job. And I was like, that's the way you do it. Because now people know if you want to look like Robert Downey Jr., hire the amazing Erica Cloud. But like when people are just like, thanks to the whole team, and they just list, it sounds like a class of elementary school names. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I definitely am more of like I don't know. Can I say something?
You can say anything you want.
I didn't watch the Oscars.
You didn't?
No, I didn't watch it at all.
How come?
Well, I was shooting a commercial the next day.
Right.
And I was sort of like just going through some things on my own.
Yeah, sure.
In my own life.
Yeah.
And I didn't turn it. I went out to dinner. I like went to get food.
That's a perfect time to go out to dinner.
It was actually. And I just like
most chumps are home.
Yeah. And I just like had a dinner. I just like went out to dinner with someone and then like just like went back home and then was thinking about turning it on and then didn't.
You just didn't.
So I was just, and then I was tired and I like had to just go to bed.
I think that's good. I mean, listen, congratulations to everyone. I wasn't, yeah, I watched it. Like, for me, it just wasn't that deep. Like, I don't get that riled up by anyone doing anything unless it's terribly egregious. Adrian Brody's speech was way too long. People were very mad about that. And he was like,
oh, yeah, he seems, I don't know.
And then Hulu cut off the broadcast for a lot of people. So people were mad at that. And then I was like, well, that seems like it's Adrian Brody's fault, I guess, because they probably made an estimate of when the drop dead time was. And then thanks to him, I think he talked for like 6 minutes or something. And I just was like, well.
Yeah, I don't understand what his deal is.
I think he's just one of those people that is a talented actor, but probably like a little bit of a bore at a party. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Some people, I like to hear myself talk too. So it's just that, at that time.
I
People
don't.
had a few things that they were annoyed with. People were annoyed with Kieran Culkin, like making a joke to his wife that she said if he won the Oscar, she'd give him more babies or whatever. And he was like, let's get to work on those babies. But I think it was a joke between them. She was laughing. I think that he's like a pretty funny guy. I don't think he was like legitimately calling her out nor expecting her to actually have babies. I think he was more making a joke that she felt comfortable making that promise because she didn't believe that he would ever win an Oscar. But I liked that movie that he was in, A Real Pain. It was a good movie. Recommend it.
I recommend it as well. I watched that movie.
Huh?
I watched that movie as well.
Oh,
I recommend it as well.
Oh, okay.
I did watch that movie.
It's a good one.
I really
Here's a
liked
fun fact
it.
that I didn't really realize. Jesse Eisenberg, who also is in A Real Pain and wrote it.
And did he direct it as well? I believe
That's
he
a good
directed
question. I don't know. I know he definitely wrote it and co-starred in it. His sister was the little cute Pepsi girl in the 80s. Hallie Eisenberg.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
I didn't know that. I never knew it. And then once I saw it, I was like, oh, of course. Like she looks exactly like him, or they resemble each other. Anyway. Somebody wants an update on the QVC show. What's going on with that? And then somebody else also asked where I'm going to stay this time when I'm in New York. To that question, I say,
we don't know.
That's a good question.
Yeah, he directed it as well, just FYI.
He directed it? Oh, good job.
He wrote it and directed it and stars in it.
Oh, okay.
I think he's a genius. I think that movie is really good.
I don't know where I'm staying when I'm in New York. I'm working on it. And that's also the update on the QVC show is that like we're working on it. It's happening soon, but
we had a little bit of, we can talk about it. We had a little bit of a kerfuffle because the space that we had previously that we used as like our studio, they got like a very long-term lease in there. So it's not available to us anymore.
Right.
So we have to find a new place.
Yeah.
So like to film.
Yeah.
So that's just been a slight hiccup.
Right. So that affects,
because we were going to go back in March and now we are not.
We're going to go back hopefully around the beginning of April.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that affects everything. That affects the actual dates that we can book guests to come in and record with us. And then it also affects to some extent where I'll be staying because I don't want to stay very, very far away from where we are.
No, it doesn't make sense.
And so there's all of that. We shall see. We'll keep you posted. What else? This question, I love you, but it's too depressing. Oh, somebody asked for a thyroid update from you.
I went to the thyroid doctor and it looks good.
That's good. That's good.
It's looking good. All the thing that what was it called? Oh my God, my brain, because I'm sick. What was it called?
You got that
biopsy?
done?
No. Yes, of course. No, but I had the procedure done. The
the ablation.
Ablation. I had the ablation. The ablation worked really well, and that is that, guys.
You're all good. And I get mine
good.
checked all the time because I have had serious issues in the past too. And like it's status quo with me. So knock on wood, it'll all stay that way forever. Somebody's asking what are our coping mechanisms for these wild times. I think Busy's biggest coping mechanism right now is being very sick.
Correct.
Her body is like, I'm not doing it.
Correct.
Today.
Yeah. She quit. She quit.
Yeah. I've been kind of under the weather too, not the same as you, but so when I'm just trying to like comfort myself and not spin out and not doom scroll, but failing at not doom scrolling, because I think also like it's good to be informed. Trying not to lose my shit on people that I don't agree with. And that's hard when you're like, it's just hard. We all know. I think we're all doing the same things, and I think we're all trying to keep it together during pretty scary time. And also like keep our kids together and our families together. It's hard. It's hard. So
it's hard. And it's what is complicated is to know like what to do and how to show up, I guess.
yeah.
Guys, in good news, Arizona made sure that the 15-week abortion ban is out of there.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that was
Congratulations
great.
on that. Yeah.
I'm going to be in Phoenix for the Planned Parenthood like annual fundraiser in April. So celebrating all the work that they have been doing there. And it's like stuff like that. We got to like keep focusing on those things, those moments and like those wins.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know what else we're supposed to do.
Right.
I really don't.
Nina says she wants to hear our views on semaglutide for weight loss. I think you've covered this quite a bit if you watch the Oprah summit that she and Katie Storino hosted. I'll tell you what I think. I think that as someone who has, lived in this space as a bigger bodied person for my entire life, mostly, I think that I'm so happy for people that are using semaglutide and GLP-1 medications. I'm so happy for people that want to use it and can use it and have access to it and it works for them if that's what they want. I think that I'm happy for people that reject it and they don't want to lose it, they don't want to use it, and they don't want to lose weight, and they want to accept and live in the body that they're in. I'm happy for those people. I think it's the person's individual personal business, whether or not they want to use those GLP-1 medications to lose weight. And I think it's nobody else's fucking business, and nobody else should say shit about it or even ask about it, to be honest. And I think that what I know about it, because it's just, I love medicine and science is an area of interest for me. What I know about it is that it's just a tool to use to help get someone closer to where they want to be sometimes, if it works for you and if you have access to it. But it's just a tool. It's not a magic pill. It doesn't do all the work for people. It doesn't mean that you don't still have to make changes and do hard work. It just seems to, for some people, make this goal that they've had for a really long time a lot easier. And I think that the objections to it by people are very revealing of how people actually feel about bigger bodied people. I think it says a lot.
Well, and
more.
women.
And women, yes. So I think that's something that like
an idea, one thing that like I always was getting really fucking pissed about when this discourse was really happening like a year ago.
Yeah.
Was the idea that like people with metabolisms that lend themselves to being in thinner bodies were acting as though this was unfair or something.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, but you did nothing to get your metabolism.
Right.
It's just That's just your body. Like, that's just
Right.
what you were born with.
Right.
And they were, I was seeing a lot of snarkiness amongst very thin-bodied, specifically women.
Yeah.
About the use of these drugs or calling people out that they thought were on them. And to me, that was like so telling. Like, you've always thought you were better than everyone else.
Right.
And you don't want everyone to be able to have the body that like you think is the ideal or whatever.
Right. Right.
By the way, I'm
And then on
not
the
saying
other
that
side,
it is
there's
the
like
ideal. I'm just saying.
disappointment. Sometimes there's disappointment from people who are on the body acceptance side where they feel like they've been abandoned by someone who was bigger bodied and was big in the body acceptance scene. And now apparently, if you had to guess, because not everybody is totally forthcoming because they don't have to be, because it's not your right to know about someone's medical treatment, but you can make assumptions if the person hasn't said anything. A lot of people are disappointed and they feel abandoned. And like, on the one hand, I kind of get it, but again, it's people's own individual journeys and road that they have to walk. And we have to admit that sometimes we don't even know people in our lives, never mind people that are in the public eye, like as much as we think we know them. And so we just can't really comment on their choices to do this or not. And I would also like to say that if someone has been in the public eye and they're bigger bodied and then suddenly they're smaller, just keep in mind that then that opens a whole other fucking can of worms that they have to deal with. People's disappointment and commentary on that. That like, oh, now this, now, and so it's like, it's a can't win situation in that respect. And I just feel like we just don't know why people are making these choices. And again, coming from like the science side of it, I see a ton of fear mongering where people are like, this is going to kill you. And in 20 years, we're going to find out this is going to kill you. I don't know. These drugs have been in use for a long time. For other reasons.
And in other countries too, just FYI.
And what?
In other countries as well.
Other countries, right. And
because a lot of times the way that it works is that the United States is like sort of like
behind
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm not saying that maybe they'll never find out that there are some like whatever side effects or whatever, but it's pretty well tested. And yeah. And then also we're discovering that every day it seems like something comes out about something else these drugs benefit. They're protective of your cardiovascular health. They're protective of your liver health. They're helping some people with other addictions. I was watching a TikTok where this guy, his whole TikTok presence is about talking about GLP-1 medications and like destigmatizing and sharing information. And he was like, let's talk about some other, like, people talk about bad side effects all the time. Let's talk about some other side effects we've noticed since we've been on these medications. And he said a really interesting one, because I've heard people say like, oh, I don't really drink. I don't care about drinking anymore. And people are like, my palate has totally changed. Like the foods that I like are very different. And, people are always talking about the food noise that goes away, which is fascinating to me. But this guy said, I had been an obsessive sports fan to the point where it like kind of affected my life. Like he didn't say he was a gambling addict, but he said that his sports fandom obsession seemed not healthy in his life and that he did not care about sports anymore. He didn't care about being a sports fan anymore after being on GLP-1 drugs. Is that for better or for worse? Maybe he misses that part of his life. That's, he didn't elaborate, but I just thought that it was really interesting. So clearly it's doing some fascinating things. Anyway, that's a long answer to your very short question, but I have a really short answer to the next question. I want a Love is Blind review. I don't watch Love is Blind. That's my review. I know people like it, but they also seem to get really riled up by it. And I don't want to get riled up by.
But you know what I saw the other night? And I think it's just like making the rounds on Netflix or whatever is the naked dating show.
Oh,
Did you see that?
no. You have to go on a date naked?
No, it's like a game show. What is it called? Hold on. Which was like last week before I was sick. Just so you
Back
guys know.
when you were
Back when I was healthy.
healthy.
Well, ish. I was fighting. I was definitely fighting it. I got run down.
yeah.
Probably because I went to this party. No, it's like a game show kind of.
Okay.
And like people come out totally fucking naked, but you don't see it, and they like start revealing them from their feet up. You would fucking hate it.
Oh my God.
But actually maybe you wouldn't, because you could pick somebody who didn't have disgusting feet.
I hate
Naked
all
Attraction.
feet, to be fair.
Wait, Naked Attraction. It's from 2016.
Okay.
And where is it from? But it's on Max right now. I don't know why. I don't understand. I think it's from England. I like literally do not understand why it like became, it's like out, it's like back up or like it's, like they circulate things, right?
Yeah. Well, like that. Remember when I was into that show? What was it called? Old Enough, where they send little kids on errands.
Oh my God, I loved Old Enough. In
I
Japan,
think
they
that's
sent the
what it
kids
was
in
called.
Japan.
Yeah, but it was
Oh my
from
God,
like
it was
years ago.
I know. It was literally like, Birdie and I loved that show. I forgot about it. And that was only like 6 months ago.
Oh my God, that show sounds gross. How do you think you would do on it?
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's UK. It's a UK.
Of course. UK always has the most brutal.
Oh, wait, maybe it's new. No, wait. I'm like so confused if it's old or new. I couldn't tell. It looks like it's like an indeterminate era. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's timeless. That's the compliment.
You know what? You know what? Wait, it did premiere in 2016.
Okay.
Okay.
And then did it go down and come back or something?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
That's
what it is.
very UK television.
Yeah,
to like just go away for 3 years and come back.
Yeah, now it's back. Oh no, over 6 seasons. Nope, didn't go anywhere, guys.
Oh wow.
But now I guess it's just in the US, or it's on Max, or Max picked it up, or what. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah,
But
there's so much international programming on the streamers right now.
Who knows? Right, because we didn't make anything because we had the strike and everything.
And they don't want to pay for it.
But so anyway, it was really funny. It was on at like obviously without the volume at this party I was at. And everyone was just mesmerized. Like we were all very much mesmerized by it. It was like,
oh my gosh.
It was very interesting.
Interesting. I would be grossed out by everyone's feet. I don't like to know that people even have feet inside their shoes.
Don't.
I told you that when I was pregnant that I would almost black out imagining that someone's feet were inside my body. It would almost make me pass out.
I mean, thank God you didn't see the outline of the foot. Because that has happened. I saw that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, I saw a foot, an actual foot.
It was real touch and go for a while there, knowing that there was feet inside of me. Oh, somebody asked our thoughts on Meghan's new Netflix show.
I
Meghan,
know.
the Duchess of Sussex.
Listen, everybody's a hater. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. It's like old school Martha Stewart.
I haven't watched it, but like whatever. Fucking let her put some peanut butter pretzels in a bag. Like, get out of here. She seems totally nice. Like, this is what she wanted to do before she fell in love with Harry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she was like doing her thing on Suits and having her like website, her whatchamacallit?
Her lifestyle blog. Yeah.
Her blog.
Which she took very seriously, by the way. She was no like flake about it.
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm like, just like everybody stop being fucking haters. She's obviously like got to do something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just like sit by yourself
In Montecito.
in Montecito. Maybe people are like, yes, she could, but I don't think she can. I think they got to make money.
Right. Yeah. I like it. It's relaxing. It's like old school Martha Stewart before the talk show, like Martha Stewart living. And I saw The Cut did an article, I think, on it about how you only need to watch one episode. I didn't read The Cut because I didn't want to log in to my subscription, which I need to cancel. But, I was just like, then I was reading the comments, of course, because that's me. So like hypocritical. Like I'm just reading the comments without reading the article. But someone was like, I don't get why she doesn't have people just come on to show her things. Like, I think their take on it was that she was posing herself as an expert and that she was showing people, which I know on Queer Eye, people have had the same complaint about Anthony Porowski, the chef guy, that sometimes he'll try to, in the past, he's tried to teach someone a recipe from their own culture or whatever. And I think Queer Eye took that note and they have been very studiously avoiding the appearance of, I don't think that's what they actually ever did, or I never caught that. But I think they took the note to make it clear that he's not trying to tell someone about their own culture. But I'm like, this person who made this comment clearly hasn't even watched any of the show because she doesn't pose herself as a cooking expert. She just says, I'm someone who likes to cook and I like to do homemaking. And she has multiple celebrated chefs coming on to show her how to make
do stuff.
Their damn dishes.
Right.
Roy Choi. He's like, Roy Choi's the biggest deal right now. And he comes on to show her how to make, I don't know, something that looked good. It was good. And he was telling her, and she was acting as his little sous chef in her beautiful, she acknowledges that it's not her house, that it's a set. And like, I don't know. People are so weird. But like, you know what it's just proved to me that there are certain people that like people just get a fucking taste of blood for them and they will not let it go. It's like a rampaging shark or dog or whatever, and people have a taste for Megan Sussex's blood and it's delicious to them. And I hate that because I just think it's such a crappy way to live your life. Like, I don't know,
Well,
like
speaking of which, that Millie Bobby Brown, I'm like that because I'm sorry, I'm
Millie
like,
Bobby Brown.
I'm like that Millie Bobby Brown has really been getting it.
Yeah.
And then she really like did this little video. And it's along the same lines as like everything that we're saying. Listen, if you want to fucking talk shit about the dress she's wearing, take it to the group chat. Take it to your personal group chat. You know what I mean? Yes. I'm just saying, like, people have forgotten how to be dece. Like, I'm not saying not to ever talk shit or have like a shitty thought. Like, everybody has it. You're in a bad mood. You're PMSing. You have perimenopause. I don't fucking know your life. Whatever you're going through. You lost your fucking voice. Dumb ex-boyfriend broke your heart again. I don't know your life. I'm just saying, like, you can be a snarky bitch.
Yeah.
You just don't have to do it to the person online. And you don't have to take it out on fucking girls who are just trying to do their job and live their lives. You know what I mean?
And by the way, all the things that you were saying, maybe you got your heart broken, maybe you are in perimenopause, deal with your origin story and what makes you the fucking Grinch.
Yeah, it's not fucking Meghan Markle's fault and it's not Millie Bobby Brown's fault. They're just out there wearing the things they want to wear, looking the way they want to look, feeling the way they want to feel, showing
Anne Hathaway
the things they
is still healing from, like so many women are still healing from, like, let's be honest, schools of piranhas that a lot of us have been in over the years. And it's time to stop.
It's just enough. It's enough.
Let her just cook some fucking nachos or Yeah, you're right.
Let her cook. Let Millie Bobby Brown wear what she wants to wear and look how she wants to look. She obviously feels good. She's working. She's doing press, and
She's a newlywed.
She shouldn't have to be subjected to a bunch of snarky ass middle-aged fucking assholes, like just being dicks about it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and speaking of group chat,
Mm-hmm.
I want to say two things. We got a healthy amount of responses, and I'm the one that's organizing the group chats, and I know it's taking a little bit long. I'm trying to make good matches, but I just want to update people that I'm still working on it. But I want to say another thing, which is I caught myself like spouting off about AI and chat GPT and all this stuff, and I had a lot of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I've never used these things. So like, and believe me, I'm against using them, but I was like, I want to experience it so I can just know like what it is I'm talking about. So anyway, I removed everyone's personal information from what they said and just gave everyone numbers and fed it into ChatGPT and asked it to make groups of 4 people based on the most shared interests.
Mm-hmm.
Can I fucking tell you that ChatGPT is like the worst employee that you have ever had? Like, it speaks to you in such a subservient way. I can see why people are addicted to it, but like it's like
because everyone just wants to be dommed.
Yes. No, I think people want to dom Chat GPT. So my Chat GPT is like, oh yes, no problem, ma'am. I'll get right back to you on that. This should just take a few minutes. And then I'm like, a few minutes later, I'm like, hey, what's going on with those groups I asked you to do? And then it's like, this is actually a much harder task than I anticipated. And I should be able to get that to you in 2 to 3 hours. And I'm like, okay, great. So I go, get lunch and watch a movie or whatever, and then come back in 3 hours, nothing. And then I'm like, hey, what's going on with this? And they're like, this is actually much harder. It might take me 9. When I tell you, it's like a terrible, terrible employee. And it's still, I'm talking like, I've already started working on the pairings myself because I know this is never going to work. It has never come back with anything helpful to me in like 2.5 days now. It just keeps saying like, you're totally right to call me out on this. I'm going to get to work on this and I'm going to, and I'm like, oh my God, it sounds like it's begging for its job and it's not doing any of the thing. And then finally, last night I was like, what is going on? You've imposed multiple deadlines on yourself, estimates of how long it would take you. And it's now been like well over 48 hours. When you keep saying it'll take 2 to 3 hours, what is going on? Can you actually do this? And it was like, this is harder than I thought it would be. It's taking longer than I thought. You would be right to want to investigate other ways to accomplish this because it might not be something that I can do. And I'm like, oh my God, sheesh.
God.
So anyway, I'm not asking anymore is the point. Like, I don't want to give it any more energy.
Yeah.
And like, I felt okay about it because it's just like, I just asked people like, what movie do you like? What's your favorite food or whatever? And took their names out of it. But holy moly, I mean, like, I wouldn't trust it to write a term paper.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust it. People are saying that they're using it to like give themselves like pseudo therapy. I wouldn't trust it. I think it's, well, wait, did we ever talk about when somebody had made like a fake podcast about the trip to Paisley Park? And it was like, they used AI to make a fake podcast about, you and I talked about it, but I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast. But anyway, someone used my social media posts about when Busy set up a trip for me to go to Paisley Park, and they used just the information in those social media posts because that's all I really did, fed it into like this AI program that turns things into like a podcast with 2 hosts, like 2 fictional fictional, fake, I don't know,
Mhm.
with two virtual reality hosts who sound like they're like Entertainment Tonight substitutes or whatever, and going back and forth. And the first thing I was like, okay, it said that I was a journalist. I don't know where it gleaned that I was a journalist from anything. So right there, it was like a factual error. And I was like, I was really looking for like things to pick apart about it. But then just like 4 minutes into it, it just went into like the two hosts just started speaking like devil gibberish. They were like, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't trust this. I don't think I wouldn't trust it. But anyway. Yeah, that's the answer to the Meghan Markle show question. I like it.
I haven't watched it, but I'm not in the market to hate on anything. You know what I did watch though, and I loved it?
What?
The Kate Hudson show, Running Point. Did we talk about this last week?
Oh no, Eli's watching it and he loves it. No, we talked about Jeannie
loved
Buss
it.
being married to Jay Moore.
Oh, right. I love it. I love it. I
Oh
like
my God.
really. I mean, I'm good. Okay, full disclosure. I'm really close friends with Dave Stassen and Ike Barinholtz for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Who created the show.
Yeah.
And Mindy Kaling's like longtime collaborators. You know,
Yeah.
they work together a lot. And so I do pretty much have a rule when like friends of mine have a new show or whatever, I try to watch at least one episode just to be like, I'm informed about the things my friends are doing. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
I always have friends that are doing amazing things or on fantastic TV shows that I love to watch, whatever. But by and large, sometimes I'm like, you know, not everything is for me, but I'll try, you know, if we're friends, I'm going to try to at least watch the pilot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boy, did I get sucked in. I watched like 6 episodes. I loved it. I thought it was
Eli
so
said
great.
it was so good. Eli
it
loved
was such like a throwback to like a simpler time on television. Like it just made me, it's very pleasant to watch.
And Kate Hudson is playing like the Jeannie Buss character, right?
Yeah, she's playing well, Jeannie Buss, I don't think was ever like, it's more like a TV show setup. Like she's like the fuck up little sister who like she was like the socialite type, like always getting into trouble, whatever.
Right. And then takes over a professional.
Ends up having to take over essentially like the Lakers, the LA, one of the biggest teams, one of the biggest 4 teams in the country. Like, they're not calling it the Lakers. They're calling it the Waves. But the show's great. She's fucking great. Like everybody's great. It just looks fun. It's just fun. I just enjoy it.
That's so good.
It's very chill watching.
I have it on my list to watch. I just finished a show that I loved and would love to recommend, which is Fight Night, the $1 Million Heist, which is about Muhammad Ali's return to boxing after he decided not to go to war, to be a conscientious objector. He goes and has a big fight in Atlanta, but it's not really about boxing, although the guy that plays Muhammad Ali is amazing. It's about this like small-time hustler in Atlanta that just wants to make a really exciting party for all the high rollers who are coming to town for the Ali fight. And Don Cheadle plays this detective in the Atlanta PD. Everyone's in it. Kevin Hart plays the hustler, the small-time hustler. Kevin Hart is a good actor. He is so enjoyable to watch. Don Cheadle, amazing. Everyone's in it. Taraji P. Henson plays like the girlfriend. It's so good. And it's all about how Kevin Hart's character kind of he lobbies to host this party for all these guys that you can imagine have like shady backgrounds. And then someone plans a heist. And so it's all about this heist and like, I loved it so much. It was produced by Will Packer, who I think we were talking about. He's a big deal TV producer. He produced the infamous other Oscars where the slap happened. But I loved Fight Night. It was so good. And I love a period piece. I love anything where everybody's in hair and makeup and costume from whatever era. It was so good, and the soundtrack's so good. And it just was like, I didn't know this story. It was kind of true. The title card at the beginning is like, this is based on some true shit, which I loved. Yeah, it was really good. And I also watched that limited series, The Sticky, about the Canadian maple syrup heist. That was so fun too, but they already said there's not going to be a second season. I don't think Fight Night's going to get a second season anyway. If you're in the market for a couple limited series, I recommend The Sticky and Fight Night.
Well, that sounds great. Both of those sound great.
Okay, there's a ton more questions, but I feel like we can save them for another time because I don't want to keep you talking forever when your voice is broken.
Yeah, I feel like we could do like 2 more.
We could do 2 more? Okay, if
Don't
you
you
feel
think?
like you can do 2 more.
Why not?
Hold
on, let me huff
your thing. Okay, update on Casey's frozen shoulder. Still hurts. Been working on it, but I think it's getting better. Although Matt and I switched sides of the bed because of his surgery, so that he wouldn't have to like lay on the side that his surgery was on.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, well, it's funny to me because I literally can't reach over to the nightstand to get anything. So every night he actually has to get out of bed and take my phone away from me and put it on the nightstand because even though he's the one that had surgery, I can't put my phone down. So there's that. What else? When are we having another Chris Fleming visit or interview? Whenever Chris Fleming wants. We love that. We love Chris Fleming.
Welcome.
So funny.
Time.
That is a person that whenever they have a video on Instagram, I will never pass it up, no matter what. No matter the circumstances, whatever else is going on in the world. I will watch.
It's true. Me too.
I watched Chris Fleming during the wildfires, when I was on high alert.
High alert. That video pops up. We're watching.
Oh my gosh. I think we kind of covered it. I think there were other questions elsewhere on Facebook, but for me to find them now,
it's too much, guys. It's just
yeah,
too much.
But we'll find them at some point, and then then we'll answer them on another episode maybe. Yeah, somebody asked, what are you reading and watching? But we already
actually
talked about.
Ada Calhoun's new book, Crush, just came out, and I am saving it for my plane flights that I have. Because, I'm not great at like watching things on airplanes. It's the weirdest thing about me.
Yeah.
That I don't love watching stuff on airplanes. I don't know why. I don't know
I think
why.
it's just a thing. I can't sleep on airplanes.
Oh, I can sleep. I love sleeping on planes.
I can't sleep. I can watch things, but I do have a hard time working or reading. So I think it's just, it's just your brain wiring.
Yeah, I prefer to read on airplanes than watch movies. If I'm I know why. I actually know why. When I'm watching movies on airplanes, I have a tendency to just look at my phone.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
So like when I'm like on an airplane for whatever reason, I don't necessarily do it when I'm at home.
Right.
But when I'm on an airplane, I just end up looking at my phone, and then I'm not really paying attention to whatever it is that I'm watching. And then I feel like I don't even know what I'm watching. And then it's just like a whole thing.
Right.
But I like to read. So I like to read.
There you go. Wait, I have a funny story about watching something on a plane. that ties back to Matt Stone because I had to go on a work trip. I want to say to like Indiana or something. I was working on like the NCAA awards or something like that. Something like, anyway, they were flying us out and I had just met the team and like the guy that was directing it was this guy, Lucas, who's very nice, but kind of goofy. And he was so nice. And he loved comedy. So he was just like, we had fun talking about like all the comedians that he knew, he was a fan of all the comedians that I had worked with and just had a million questions. And he's just a sweet, sweet guy. Anyway, we get on the plane and I always want to be seated like very far from anyone on the team, especially if I don't know them, because just, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk shop the whole time. I don't want to feel like I have to talk the whole time, whatever. But I get sat across the aisle from this guy, Lucas, because that's just how it worked. And I was like, ugh, but it's fine. He's a nice guy. Anyway, he's looking through all the movies, doesn't find a movie that he wants. And then he gets out his laptop and opens it up and he starts watching Team America World Force, the puppet.
I mean, Matt Stone. Yes.
Yes. He starts watching it and he's laughing and it's making me laugh and it's very endearing because he's like laughing with his headphones on and I'm like, he's really enjoying the hell out of this. And then there's a scene in the movie, spoiler alert, where two of the marionettes start having graphic
sex.
And this flight attendant walks by at that moment, sees him watching this, and she's like, Sir, you can't watch that on this plane. She's like, this is pornography. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And he goes to like take his headphones out and shut the laptop. And this other flight attendant comes and reopens the laptop and to look at it. And she's like, that's not pornography, it's puppets. And he's like, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Oh my God.
And these two flight attendants are having a full argument in the
so
aisle
embarrassing
of the plane about whether you can watch puppets fucking while you're on a flight, and this poor guy just wanted to die. Like he'd already agreed to stop watching.
He was already like, I'm done. It's fine. I don't need to watch this.
And I was dying of laughter and I felt so bad for him. And I know his face was so red. And I know he was like, this new colleague is watching this whole shit go down. I was crying, laughing. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen on an airplane.
I mean, honestly, though, I just want to ask you this. If you didn't know that guy.
Yeah.
And you were like sitting next to someone who was watching puppets have intense sex on an airplane, would you feel uncomfortable? I think yes.
I
think you might.
I think that he lost like a sense of where he was because I think if he had been like more situationally aware, he might have closed his laptop or maybe like averted it from the aisle at least or something. But he was just enjoying the movie and I think like didn't even, I don't know, but it was so funny. It was so funny. And it happened very fast. Yeah, I think like, well, it would also depend, you know, it would depend on like, I don't know, the guy's vibes, I guess. If he seemed like he was like into it as opposed to laughing at it, you know, that'd be upsetting. It would depend. But yeah, I mean, the upshot is that like if they had that movie available, they would have cut that scene out. Like if it had been available on the plane because movies are always.
Do they do that? I do feel like I have seen
some real racy stuff on my seat back plane recently. So, but this is back when I'm confident it would have been cut out. So he wouldn't have had to even think about it. So it was just one of those things where I think he wasn't trying to be weird. He just disconnected from like where he was and but the two flight attendants fighting about it and like one insisting that he keep watching while the other one being absolutely not. And he was like, no, I've already agreed. I've agreed that the first flight attendant is correct. I'm stopping. And then just to have like a strange person that you have to work in close quarters with for the next week that you don't even know, dying of laughter across the aisle. It was hilarious. Thanks to Matt Stone.
Really funny. And I do feel bad for him, though. That does make me feel sad. It's embarrassing. That's really embarrassing.
Lucas, are you listening? Are you over it? Have you ever gotten over that incident?
Have you recovered?
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen on a plane.
That's really funny.
What are you doing your best at?
Well, girl, I'm like continuing to do my best at just taking the advice of the people that want what's best for me. And, resting, taking care of myself. And, I think I'm doing my best at that. I've got I definitely have a lot of work stuff, and I'm excited about the stuff that I'm doing, the things that I've done.
Yeah.
Have done, am doing. But I do I feel a little bit like I'm recommitting to not, I used to never get sick.
Right.
I would get the sinus infection situation. This year has been rough. I've been sick a lot this year.
Yeah.
And I yesterday, I was like, I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm not going to be sick anymore. I'm literally, I'm over it. I can't. I'm done. So whatever I need to do, I went back to my acupuncturist today. I'm going to take these herbs that he's telling me I should be taking. I'm just I want to just not be sick.
Yeah.
And I want to just feel good. And I want to do things that make me feel good emotionally and physically. And I'm identifying things that make me feel not good, and I'm eliminating them from my life.
That sounds good. That sounds healthy.
It does feel healthy. It feels healthy.
Yeah. Good for
So
you.
that's what I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best at identifying the best ways for me to be healthy.
All right.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm doing my best at just trying to get out a little bit. I feel by get out, I literally mean go to Costco or go out and get a salad or, whatever that is, because working from home it's not the best situation for me. And I get it. I get people that love to work remotely and it works so well for them and it's a perfect situation. And I feel for anyone that's been had a demand placed on them that they have to return to the office when they're doing just fine and thriving working at home. I'm not the best person to work at home because I will just I start out trying to write something and then next thing I know, I'm repairing a cabinet door or whatever.
I'm the same way. Wait, Casey, I'm the exact same way. And there's this workspace thing that's opening near me.
Yeah.
And I joined it because I'm I can't do this anymore. It's so hard for me to get the work stuff I need to get done in my house. It's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just have been trying to if I'm sitting and I'm trying to write something or accomplish something that's on my list. And by the way, that's when I even remember what the fuck I'm supposed to do in my house. Cause sometimes I'm oh shit, I forgot to do this really major thing. It's just not great. So anyway, if I'm not in a situation where I'm going to an office every day, and I'm not, and I'm not doing my best at managing myself working. Like if I'm trying to write something and then suddenly I'm like putting a new coat of paint on something or something, I just think that maybe it's like a little bit like I just need to get out of here because maybe what I'm doing is like giving myself diminishing returns. And maybe I just need to like get out in the world, see the sun, see people walking around, and then come back and try to like get a fresh run at whatever it is I'm doing. So I've just been trying to do that lately, like, and just really minor things, but it's very weird. Like my family uses that Life 360 app to know where each other is.
Yeah.
And we had it when the kids were kids so that we'd know like, oh, they're walking home from school right now or whatever. And then when they went to college, we said like, you can delete that app from your phone now.
Yeah, we
like
don't need to now. Yeah.
you're an adult. And, but the kids were like, I think they both deleted it for a short time. And then I think Eli was like, I actually like to know where you guys are too. So I'm going to put the app back on.
Fair.
That's all to say, like, I love that they still trust us and want us to know where they are. And it's been a source of comfort to me many times, especially as they're getting older and like living their own lives. Like, I like to know, you know, there's their little car going down the highway or whatever. Long story long, you can also look at it and see how many fucking days it's been since you left your house. And sometimes the amount of days I've been in my house is alarming. So what I'm doing my best at is like, let's just close the laptop, go get a salad, and then come back and try to like accomplish this in a timely, successful, not pathetic manner where you wander off and do some other task. Like, ugh, it's a mess. But I'm excited about your new workspace.
Yes, me too. I am too.
Yeah,
I think it's really good.
Is it near your house?
It's so close. Yes.
Oh, good.
I know.
Great.
So that's also great.
Nice. Is it like opening soon or is it?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like already in existence because I know a lot of the places closed down and pandemic.
Yeah, no, it's like, it's opening V soon.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. Well, we did it.
We really did it, guys. We did this podcast.
We did this part of it. I still had the, everybody wish me luck on the next part.
Again, I'm going to say, I don't know. Seems fine. Seems fine. You know what I mean? It seems fine.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's going to be great.
I mean, I just don't even like, there's just like probably a number of steps that I've just never done because Josh just does it that I just am going to have to figure out and see. But I'm sure I can do it. It's just, it might take me a minute. Just might take me a minute. Anyway, we'll talk to you very soon.
We're gonna talk to you soon. We love you. Bye, guys.
Busy's huffing her thing again, so we gotta let her get back to huffing. But we love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.